With the roar of thunder his power completes. Fear and respect, they follow his reign. JoeDaKing's arrival ignites the flame.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're watching Simon the Digger versus Rayner. Gurren Lagann versus Lantern. We're watching Death Battle today, baby. It'd be time to see the will of the drill. Oh, we seeing it live. Yes, sir.
Simon the Digger, Kyle Rayner, the White Lantern. Two men born of Earth with the willpower to pierce the heavens and conquer infinity. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and
getting
skills
hyped up already. I'm already hyped.
Win a death battle.
I'm hyped.
Deep underground, Jiha Village.
I just want to start this real quick. I just want to start this video off with something real quick. If you like this video, your boy JoeDaKing, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, and maybe even share it with your friends so spread the word out. I'm a more newer creator and I want to get big, so hey, do what you can to help, please.
Lived in dreary isolation, oblivious to the wider world above their squalid cave. That's where the hero of our story comes in. The young man who would lead his comrades into the sunlight at last. Kamina, the great and mighty. Oh, and his little brother from another mother, Simon. He was there too, I guess. Simon was a digger, content to drill endlessly through the dirt, until the day he found the core drill. A key that activated the mysterious buried mech that Kamina named Lagann. Under his magnificently masculine leadership, Kamina finally drilled their way to freedom.
That's a name.
The sun after a life in the dark. But the sky was by no means the limit. The surface was ruled by the cruel chimeric beastmen, and Kamina would
that's where the name of the anime came from. Gurren Lagann
for humanity.
Name of the
a
mech.
Second mech in the process, aptly named Gurren. And as befits Kamina and Simon's unbreakable brotherly bond, Gurren and Lagann merged, creating Gurren Lagann.
I heard something.
And with Kamina piloting the body and Simon the head,
hey, doing with the homie. He's doing it with the homie.
Of all the giant fighting robots in all the animes across history, Gurren Lagann might just be the absolute coolest. Fueled by its pilot's
I would agree.
willpower
That
and
was
capable
cool.
of making any weapon they can imagine, including missiles, a jetpack, a sunglasses boomerang, and of course, drills! Wrist-mounted drills, kunai drills, shield drills, kamehameha drills, and everyone's favorite, the Giga Drill Bureku! Side note, it is so funny that the only thing they could think of was drills. That's like if I made booze or something, my whole personality. With Gurren Lagann's awesome power, Kamina laid waste to enemy forces, liberated human villages, and fomented a rebellion against the Beastmen King, Lord Genome. Until Kamina died. Oh, wait, shit. Was that supposed to happen? Nope, and it was all Simon's fault. He let his willpower waver, and his soul brother paid the price. After all, he was just a humble digger, at home in the darkness, guided solely by the light of Kamina's spirit. So his big bro left him with these final words. Have faith in the Simon who believes in you. Damn. Kamina was the one looking up to him the whole time. It was Simon who found Lagann, Simon who pierced the surface, and Simon who would now lead humanity to victory.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm saying it makes sense. I mean, he's the one that basically started the entire thing by finding the mech in the first place. It makes sense. It's cool.
Especially with his gal pal Nia at his side.
Hey, you got a new gal.
Out of his rut and
got
kicked
himself a shorty.
ass. But victory only lasted 7 years before the anti-spiral attacked. Unimaginably powerful.
The anti-spiral, bro. I swear to you, like, I don't know how many polls have this one meme where the anti-spiral engine, man. It trust me. It's just, like, saying who wins between Superman and Goku. People saying anti-spiral, bro. He's not even part of the conversation, dude. Focus on the combo. Y'all goofy as hell out there. Y'all goofy as hell.
Powerful godlike aliens, the anti-spiral feared humanity's potential, what they dubbed the spiral nemesis. Remember how Gurren Lagann runs on fighting spirit? Turns out that's just a manifestation of spiral power, an energy that all spiral beings, like humans, have. That's right, the laws of physics run on chutzpah.
Just as the spiral turned inward represents endless obsession and madness, the spiral turned outward spins forever into infinity.
JoJo reference.
The perfect representation of humanity's evolutionary potential.
Potential Simon would use as he led Team Daiguren across the multiverse to take the fight to the anti-spiral. And this is when Gurren Lagann gets crazy.
Channeling spiral power lets you constantly adapt to threats, no matter how overwhelming. Simon can create portals to different realities and higher dimensions.
Okay, so we got evolution. You got the spiral power, exponential adaptation, self-repair, force fields, energy absorption, reality warping, arc Gurren Lagann, city size, thunderbolt, chariot kick, space-time shattering burst, spinning punch, super galaxy Gurren Lagann, moon-sized, full drillers, and spatio-temporal axis simultaneous shooting. Okay.
He can generate force fields, absorb energy attacks, and even merge Gurren Lagann with bigger and stronger.
There's more to it. Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, incomprehensibly big. Contains super spiral space probability missiles. Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. Jeez Louise, this guy's got a lot of evolutions, a lot of big names. Next size bigger than the observable universe. Infinite spiral power drill size of the observable universe. Dang, this man OP. This mech OP, man. Damn.
Machines. Creating the Arc Gurren Lagann, which is strong enough to shatter space and time with a punch.
Or the Super Galaxy Gurren Lagann, which can fire lasers that are fast enough to hit, and I quote, all time, space, and dimensions, all within a Planck instant.
That's the smallest unit of time physically possible.
Meaning each laser would have to be moving 4.6 times 10 to the 117th power times faster than light. Oh, well, looks like this wins the award for fastest calculated speed feat in our show's history. Congratulations, Gurren Lagann.
Move over, SpongeBob. You've been dethroned. Oh, and the guidebook says they hit an innumerable number of enemies across infinite universes. You literally cannot calculate how fast that is.
But it wasn't enough to escape the anti-spiral's greatest trap, the multiverse labyrinth, an attack that imprisons Simon in his own unique multiverse, forced to experience an infinite number of alternate realities that controlled his mind, permanently arresting him in a dream world.
Except Simon and his spiral power are just built different, and after being inspired by his bro, Simon absorbed that whole multiverse to escape.
What makes this even more impressive is that this labyrinth was 11-dimensional, meaning Simon absorbed a higher dimensional structure several orders of infinity greater than himself.
20D space. Full dimensional.
Holy the jump between dimensions is basically infinite. Each new dimension adds a new direction of space that extends infinitely, thus an infinite gap in size and scope.
What?
Oh, we're just getting started. Imagine a two-dimensional drawing interacting with a three-dimensional person.
Okay. That's not too far off from what actually happened.
Because when Simon absorbed the multiverse labyrinth, he merged with every alternate universe version of himself, including an alternate universe Simon who is writing his own alternate universe version of Gurren Lagann. And that author's spiral power made his fictional Simon real, adding another to the mix.
Wait, if every human being has spiral power, you're telling me we can all do this shit?
This all gave our Simone enough spiral power to form the next step in mecha evolution, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
This is when Gurren Lagann gets actually fucking crazy. Like shooting missiles that alter probability so they have 100% chance of hitting you, or tossing galaxies around like frisbees. Sorry, did I say galaxies? I meant universes.
Simon's power was so immense that he started generating super spiral space, a higher dimension encompassing our own universe.
With it, Simon turns his thoughts into reality, letting him create his mech and all of its weapons in the first place.
Not only does this mean he no longer needs co-pilots, he can also regenerate any damage done to him or his mech just by willing it back into existence.
Like when Lord Genome used spiral power to survive quantum breakdown lockdown, or the time Nia, now the best wife in the universe, used spiral power to constantly regenerate her body from being erased at the informational level for 7 days straight.
Information in physics is essentially the ones and zeros that make up every possible outcome in reality. Nia literally regenerated from the statistical certainty of her own destruction.
If I have spiral power, Wiz, when the fuck is my leg growing back?
When even this was not enough for the anti-spiral, Simone evolved one more.
Bro, this is insane. This has got to be the most powerful character in anime. Like, OG times infinity. Infinity times infinity, infinite times. Holy smoking Jesus Christ. Hell?
Time.
Into Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann!
This mech is so big, its
There's no way he
size
should
is
lose.
literally incalculable. And with a drill somehow even larger than that, Simone and his friends shattered the anti-spiral once and for all.
Hey, cruel indifference of the universe! Meet the indomitable human spirit!
Proving Kamina's words prophetic, that Simone's drill is the drill that would pierce the heavens.
With no more worlds
hitting.
left to conquer, Simone chose to wander the earth for the rest of his days, in service to others.
Always looking up, for all the lights in the sky are stars, and every star another world of spiral cousins that can live free.
All thanks to a humble digger.
I don't even know who's gonna win this fight. Sven took the infinite multiverse and basically just tenfolded, like, bitch slapped it. Holy hell. There was no way he could lose this. He could prevent his own death on the micro power. Like, how, on the freaking, like, I'm sorry, he's just overpowered. Like, I don't know how long the series is. I've never watched anime really, but there was no way that Simone could, like, lose like that. Like, this is somebody who's incalculable, just literally.
The universe is a dangerous place.
Okay, now we're
Should
going
you
to
find
Kyle.
yourself
We're going
face to
into the
face
Green
with an
Lantern.
interdimensional vampire, alien dictators, or this one really pissed off cat, you know who to call.
The Green Lantern Corps! They're the Space Fuzz, an intergalactic police force founded billions
John
of
Stewart,
years ago by
the
blue
G,
leprechaun
the G.
gods.
And the greatest Green Lantern among them was everyone's favorite.
By blue leprechaun.
Why did they got the leprechaun from that horror movie there? That's not right. Y'all really are playing jokes with this.
Gods.
You
And the
dicks.
greatest Green Lantern among them was everyone's favorite, Hal Jordan.
You know
Yup.
him. You
Yup.
love him.
Mm-hmm.
You might hate him.
Yup.
But you gotta respect the man with a will as unbreakable as Hal's.
Until the day his will broke.
After his hometown got completely obliterated, Hal lost his mind.
Dang.
He rampaged through the core, killing everyone in his path, and absorbed the central power battery, the literal Green Lantern.
Becoming the Emerald Tyrant, Parallax.
There was only one survivor
okay,
of
he lost it.
Parallax's killing spree, Ganthet. And with what remained of his strength, he gave the last Green Lantern ring in the universe to a human, Kyle Rayner.
So, was
Hey,
Kyle
the
built
op.
for his indomitable
The man.
willpower like Hal was?
He was just there. He had no idea what was going on. Must feel good being given the most dangerous magical weapon in existence to figure out on your own. Hey, if Colonel Sanders, Daffy Duck,
Who's a comic artist? This man's got unlimited.
Space Wheat, and a sentient box can master it, what's your excuse, Kyle?
The Green Lantern ring can do anything, fulfilling any wish its user desires as though it were a genie from a lamp.
It lets you fire energy blasts, create force fields, affect gravity, turn invisible and intangible, manipulate matter, time travel, warp reality, and erase things from existence.
Think we're exaggerating? Well, consider the time Kyle
This man got a whole ton of abilities, man.
stretched the
Holy
very
freaking
fabric
moly.
of space to increase the Planck length a billion times over. That's like stretching an inch into a light year.
Lanterns control time and space, letting them fly so fast they can create a Speed Force singularity.
Tapping into the Speed Force requires entering a higher dimension of
They're actually
space,
powerful.
requiring speeds that are not only faster than light, but totally immeasurable. And the rings have an artificial intelligence that operates just as fast, automatically protecting its user from danger.
Like the time that Poozer Kilowog survived being erased from existence by the crisis on Infinite Earth.
The ring is fueled by its user's willpower and limited only by their imagination.
While Hal may have had the greatest willpower in the core,
Again, with
Kyle's
willpower.
imagination is unmatched. Probably because he's a comic
hold
book
on.
artist.
Okay, yeah. If you got the ability of imagination, you got like. I'm not gonna lie to you. I probably do good with a Green Lantern ring. I'm not gonna lie. Like I actually have an overactive imagination. If I had that, I'd be making do anything. I'd be doing anything I can. I'd be saving people. I'd be doing whatever I want, man. Because I'm about to make a name for myself here, my boy. About to make a name for myself.
And we know from this show, they think of some wild shit.
But the Green Lantern's most recognizable ability is their constructs, Kyle's speciality.
Samurai armor, pirate ships, giant dragons, actual working home computers, and his favorite, super fighting robots. Hey, that one looks familiar.
Kyle can make them strong enough to lift the Spectre, who weighs as much as eternity.
Or hold back a 12.3 dimensional Big Bang. Wait, 0.3? DC's multiverse has 12.3 dimensions? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
The ring's only
That's
downside
the
is that
11
it's limited to
dimensions.
24 hours before
man.
needing a recharge.
So it can blow up universes, but it has the battery of an iPhone. Never mind, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Although I'd say Kyle's biggest weakness was Kyle. With great power came no responsibility.
Perhaps a manifestation of Kyle's self-doubt. Any reflection came too late, though, when one of Kyle's villains brutally murdered his girlfriend, Alex, and put her body in a fridge.
Kyle wasn't the only one traumatized. This moment was so infamous, it started the trope called fridging.
For how female characters are often sacrificed as mere plot devices to further a male character's development.
So it might surprise you that it happened to
messed
Kyle
up.
again.
Kyle finally got serious. He became a prominent member of the Justice League, faced off against Hal, and even rebuilt the Green Lantern Corps better than ever.
But little did he know, this torchbearer's greatest journey had only just begun.
In order to save Ganthet from an emotional lobotomy, it's a long story, he had to master all the colors of the emotional electromagnetic spectrum.
There are 7 colors, each representing a different emotion. The yellow light of fear lets Kyle manipulate the worst horrors in your mind. The more scared you are of him, the stronger he becomes.
Orange light is fueled by bottomless avarice, possessing Kyle to absorb not merely his enemies' attacks, but also their souls.
Red is rage, ripping out Kyle's heart and
Ultra
replacing
power.
his blood
That's
with
ultra
napalm.
power. Wrath, rage.
Sounds like it sucks, but it's metal as hell.
Blue light is powered by hope and allows Kyle to heal wounds, resist mental domination, and supercharge his
That makes sense.
Indigo is compassion, reducing his opponent's will to fight and letting him open portals across space, connecting him to others.
The final one was the sapphire light of love. With it, he can trap enemies within crystal matrices and control their minds. But Kyle only mastered it by forgiving himself for Alex's tragic death.
Oh, self-love. I get it. Must be nice. And with their powers combined, he doesn't just make his enemies taste the rainbow.
The lights of the spectrum merged, and Kyle became a White Lantern with total control over the power of life.
Wiz, I cannot think of an attack more useless in a death battle than something that makes you live.
Empowered by the physical embodiment of all life in the DC multiverse, Kyle is vastly more powerful than any other Lantern in existence.
Far stronger than Hal, who could harness the energy of every power battery across the multiverse.
Not only can Kyle instantly heal all wounds, purify corruption, and resurrect the dead,
This is actually kind of
the white
cool.
light of life is strong enough to go up against threats to all of creation, like the Anti-Monitor.
Okay, so it's not totally useless.
Especially after Kyle visited the Source and acquired the life equation. Essentially the source code to reality, the life equation is mathematical proof that life is worth living.
With it, Kyle can alter all of reality at a whim, even threatening the new gods like Darkseid.
The life equation, like its counterpart, the anti-life equation, is a conceptual artifact from a higher reality, originating in a platonic realm that is, in a sense, more real than we are.
So it's not a shock that the equation made Kyle too powerful.
He struggled to control it, and it subconsciously manifested a being composed of his fears and anxieties. Oblivion. Kyle's greatest weakness was still himself.
Kyle spent his whole life struggling with the power that the gods granted.
Always a twist. There's always a stinking twist to stuff. You know, ultimate power, there's always that one little monkey's paw. That one little twist that messes everything up. Of course there is.
Him. And
Poor dude.
Throughout it all, he always rose to the occasion, carrying the universe on his back.
But ultimately, the only way to stop power from corrupting is to spread it. So Kyle split the life equation into pieces to found his second core, the White Lanterns. And together, they shattered Oblivion, destroying the self-doubt that plagued Kyle once and for all.
Not bad for a comic book
Early
geek from LA.
destroyed his
And now he was the one
dark
giving
side.
out
Wow.
rings of unlimited power to people who weren't sure if they could command it.
So he told them the truth. You can't teach someone how to use such power. You have to learn yourself, making mistakes along the way.
But with the power of life at their command, there's no end to their journey, only endless beginnings.
Sweet.
Hey, remember Beerus versus Sailor Galaxia? No?
Bro, I missed that
that's
fight.
because it
It's a
was
cool
taken
fight.
off YouTube for being too anime. But we've got a solution. It's our own website. That's
Hey,
www.deathbattle.gg.
they got a website now.
It's like
Hey,
our own private
GGs.
Patreon with a store for Death Metal merch and a complete Death Metal video
Yeah.
archive. It's got episodes that YouTube has banned, blocked, and censored, and there's even more goodies on the way. So check out deathbattle.gg.
Every episode on our
right
website,
now.
bro. I'm joining. Probably gonna take the lower side of it, but hey, I was
Alright, the
joining it.
combatants
Yeah.
are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Infinite death battle. Okay, so I'm really thinking here. I really got like I don't actually like know who's gonna win this fight, but this is gonna be entertaining for sure. Like, these are two who have no real upper bounds or anything like that. But I see like I can like make a guess, but I don't know. But the thing is, I'm getting like focused on the power sources. Actually, I don't know if that's gonna be the main thing, but Kyle's thing it's gotta be like recharged. I think even in White Lantern form. I don't know. Well, see, Mom's based off of willpower, and if he keeps on with his will, he's not gonna falter anytime soon. Which means he's probably gonna got a better advantage in, well, fighting spirit. Probably, I don't know. But I gotta say this right now. Like, this is actually kind of exciting. I'm actually kind of getting giddy about this. Like, I don't even watch anything with these two. Like, but this actually seems like entertaining, man. So let's get into the fight. I want to see this. Oh, he did the sunglasses.
Right. I'm not rusty at all.
Yeah, that's right, my boy. You on that? Oh,
Hey, dude. Green Lantern Officer Kyle Rayner here. Ring says you've
Hey.
got a Class A galactic super weapon, whatever that is. I'm thinking it's the giant mech. Why don't you hand it over?
Gurren Lagann's mine, officer. Just who the hell do you think you are?
hey, they got into fighting. Ooh, oh, he just summoned ball. There's someone Balrog. Oh, someone Balrog from Street Fighter on a freaking construct, bro. That's crazy. Reference moment. Reference momenta. So we got the drills. Trying to see the will of the drill, baby.
God with authority.
Tell
Oh,
me
he don't
about
care.
it.
He's trying all of them.
Four.
Bruh. This man's gonna be chaotic, this boys.
That's nothing. My drill will pierce the heavens.
Yeah. Don't give it up. Don't give up.
Gurren Lagann.
Bro, he going full max right on the. Dang, they're going all out right early in the fight. They are not holding back. They are not holding back. They are going right off, ripping their strongest forms right early in the fight. Well, that is wild. They are not holding back at all. I actually see like some fights be prolonged because of this stuff, man. They are not kidding with this. Come on, freaking on. Bring that fight. I want to see this.
We do the impossible.
See the invisible.
Touch the untouchable.
Break the unbreakable.
If you ain't know,
Now you know.
Oh, you got that 100% probability. Get him, man. Get them both.
Simone the Digger. If there's a wall in my way, I'll smash it down.
This is crazy. He's going full white man. He's going full power. Smash.
think about your fear of death, your love of your friends, your compassion for me. Your
Oh, he's not. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. He's too willing.
Have faith in the Simone that believes in you.
Think of your boy.
Super Tekken Gurren Lagann! My drill is the drill that will transcend the heavens! Giga Drill Free!
Oh, he's fucking geeking it now. Oh, he's fighting back with drills. The will of the drill fight. It's definitely will of the drill. What? Wait, what? Who's... This is right past
wasn't your mech.
infinity.
It was me.
Then, Simone, I'm taking you in brightest day, in blackest night.
Oh, they're just fighting hand to hand now. Oh, that's crazy.
Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern fly!
Let's see you grit those teeth!
Wait, is Simone winning? Is he winning?
Make a good lantern.
Simone of Earth, you have been chosen.
Just who the hell do you think I am?
Simone!
KO!
Yes!
The guy with the snazzy.
Yo, that's freaking awesome, dude. Everybody, we want this man to win. I knew he would. I knew he would. I was going to my guesses thinking Simone would be winning. Yeah,
Sunglasses.
When both combatants possess unlimited power, it's hard to judge them by our normal standards. Take
Yep.
speed. Simone can
get
hit
to the analysis. Holy smokes. Oh, this is actually a wild fight. Holy sminking moly.
an infinite number of targets all at once, and Kyle can fly fast enough to surpass the normal concept of speed itself.
When you control space and time, things like strength and speed kind of become irrelevant.
Instead,
Yeah.
let's analyze them through a lens more applicable to beings as absurd as Simone and Kyle. Their imagination, their willpower, and their ultimate potential.
Hey, yeah,
First
that's
up,
it's obvious.
imagination. The boundless things they could conjure to use against the other. Both could think up just about anything the other could, like absorbing each other's attacks, fighting across time, anything.
Simone did have a few attacks that Kyle hasn't encountered, like the probability-altering missiles, but
Oh.
it's likely Kyle could adapt considering his ring could protect against existence being erased across the multiverse.
And in general, Kyle's
Wait, is this
constructs
actually
were a
Will
lot
of the
more
Drill
creative
playing in
than
the background?
Simone's arsenal, which was mostly drills. Though again, nothing Simone couldn't adapt to with, say, his energy absorption. Imagination is a draw.
That leaves the other main factor for both characters, the origin of their
this
unbelievable
is getting
might,
interesting.
their willpower.
And that's really gonna be the winning factor here, since it's the source of everything for both of them. Whoever's got the stronger willpower wins.
Both can manipulate reality on a multiversal scale with their willpower, but we can use dimensions to roughly calculate a difference. This might sound absurd for most characters, but it's necessary for beings as beyond the pale as Simone and Kyle.
The multiverse labyrinth that Simone absorbed contained 11 spatial dimensions. That's 1.3 dimensions less than the multiverse Kyle's power can threaten.
And remember, each numbered dimension infinitely surpasses the one below it.
Which meant Kyle's willpower was stronger at a base level. However, that doesn't necessarily mean Kyle gets the edge, because if there's one thing both of these guys guys are known for. It's that they can always get stronger.
So to determine the limits of their willpower, we first need to understand their full
This is
potential.
Tengen Toppat.
Simone's whole deal with spiral power is how he can constantly evolve to get stronger. So just because Simone starts off weaker doesn't mean he'll stay that way.
Absorbing the multiverse labyrinth required Simone to leapfrog several orders of infinity in an instant. Simone made himself that much stronger through sheer force of will.
More than enough to close the gap with Kyle, especially since spiral power also lets him regenerate his body down to an informational level. Kyle's never destroyed something that thoroughly before.
Without the ability to easily kill Simone, it was only a matter of time
We got
before
a
Kyle's
meme in there,
brain
bro.
would
That's
go
awesome.
on charge. Especially since Simone could likely regenerate for at least a week straight, like Nia did. While Blue Lantern Light could boost
Well, this
Kyle's
actually
power,
is hype.
he's never
This
jumped
is a hype. I see why
orders of
people wanted this
infinity
fight.
and
This is
strength
awesome.
Like Simone has.
And while Kyle could manipulate emotions to reduce Simone's willpower, Simone resisting the labyrinth's mental manipulation meant he could power through anything Kyle threw at him.
Everything is, except for the life equation. It originated from a higher level of reality and would have more than even the odds.
Too bad Kyle couldn't control it. It was just as much a detriment to him as an asset, forcing him to relinquish it to keep from
Okay, that's
destroying
interesting.
reality and himself.
Compare that to Simone, who merged with a version of himself, writing a version of Gurren Lagann, and using spiral power to make that fiction into reality.
A pretty similar level
He's
of reality to
infinite.
the life equation, and a level of power
Bro is
Simone had
beyond
no trouble embracing
everything.
and mastering by the end of his
Simone
story.
had
no
no
matter how you look at
limits.
it, Simone might start weaker, but his peak will always transcend Kyle's. Isn't that how all of Simone's battles usually go anyway? That's Gurren Lagann in a nutshell.
So Simone's incredible potential eclipsed Kyle, which means his willpower was ultimately greater. Kyle may have embodied life itself.
As here's the results. Simone had a greater rate of adaptation, superior regeneration, and could resist the emotional spectrum. And he could counter, but Simon had the advantage and stronger at base and more creative use of his rings. They were both an equal; they could counter each other's abilities. But Simon was weaker initially, but Kyle was far weaker eventually and had a limited battery charge, which is something I actually talked about earlier in the video. Talked about how the fact that this battery, like the limit of their fighting potential, like how long they could go on, would be a factor, which I literally just mentioned. Bro, you know how big this is to me to realize that the battery charge on the lantern ring was actually a weakness to him that would have led Simone the victory, baby. Yeah, that's
But
what I'm
Simone's
talking about.
unstoppable evolutionary potential would shatter even this lantern's light.
I hope Kyle at least dug the fight, because when it comes to death battle losers, he was a dead ringer.
The winner is
Yeah.
Simone the Digger.
Next time.
Hey, I just gotta say this right now. I hope you enjoyed this video because I know I did enjoy watching this video. But let's see what we got on next time. What do we got next time? What? How did I get a feeling that we're gonna do this one next? Wile E. Coyote versus Tom the Cat, of course.
Subscribe and join as a member to see more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
Of course. So, well, that's the video for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you like, subscribe, and help me grow as a creator. Share this with your friends. Spread the word. Help me get big. Help me come up with new ideas. And help me do anything I can. For the will of the drill, baby.
JoeDaKing